Entrepreneurs and high net worth individuals around the world are turning to offshore structures as a key strategy for reducing their tax burdens, safeguarding their assets, and opening up new international opportunities. But there's a lot more to offshore companies than just saving on taxes. Smart offshore structuring can give you stronger asset protection, streamline succession planning for your heirs, and provide better access to global markets. Before choosing a country or jumping into paperwork, it's crucial to understand the why behind going offshore and what really works for your specific situation. For most people considering an offshore business, tax optimization is the top motivator. Setting up in the right jurisdiction with the proper structure can dramatically lower your effective tax rate, freeing up more of your income for reinvestment, expansion, or just building your personal wealth. But managing risk is just as important. The right offshore jurisdiction can shield your assets from lawsuits, creditors, or other threats, keeping your personal finances and your business operations separate and secure. Limited liability companies are especially useful here, creating a legal barrier between your private wealth and anything that could go wrong in business. Succession planning is another major reason to look offshore. For family businesses and high net worth individuals, moving wealth to future generations while keeping taxes to a minimum takes careful planning. An offshore company can provide the legal vehicle you need to transfer wealth smoothly and efficiently, preserving your family's legacy. But before you set up an offshore company, you need to step back and carefully consider your overall circumstances. Your personal tax obligations, your company's structure, and your long-term goals all play a role in determining what will work best. It's especially important to think about your business partners, as their willingness to relocate or restructure can limit or expand your options. Infrastructure also matters, sometimes more than you'd expect. You need to look closely at banking services, access to payment processors, and the availability of digital tools in the countries you're considering. Some countries don't support major platforms like PayPal or Stripe, and if your business depends on these tools, your revenue and customer relationships could suffer if you choose the wrong jurisdiction. Planning ahead and evaluating where you can bank and process payments is absolutely critical. Where your company is based affects how clients, partners, and regulators see you. Some tax havens may look appealing on paper with 0% rates and little regulation, but being tied to a poorly regarded jurisdiction can damage your brand, raise red flags, and even impact your ability to open a bank account. As you compare options, look for places that offer real benefits without making your company look suspicious. So, which countries are actually the best choices for offshore business? The answer depends on your unique situation, and consulting a professional is always smart to make sure your international plans fit together seamlessly. The United Arab Emirates is increasingly seen as a first-choice jurisdiction for offshore companies. Although there's a 9% corporate tax for mainland businesses earning non-qualifying income, free zone companies with qualifying international income pay zero corporate tax. The business environment is top-notch. Banking rivals any global financial center, and everything from company formation to license renewals can be handled efficiently online. There's generally no audit requirement for free zone entities, which saves on compliance costs. While record-keeping requirements have become stricter, the benefits in terms of tax savings and infrastructure more than make up for it. Hong Kong remains Asia's leader for international business, in spite of its political shifts. There's an audit requirement for Hong Kong companies, but its deep reputation for transparency, stability, and efficient banking still makes it very attractive. Western business owners will find English is the main language for business, so there are no communication issues. The city provides access to global banking and has a business-friendly legal system that many entrepreneurs continue to trust. For those seeking unmatched prestige, the Cayman Islands are hard to beat. With 0% corporate tax, an elite reputation, and a mature financial services infrastructure, Cayman attracts well-funded companies and established entrepreneurs. The banking system caters to serious businesses, often requiring higher minimum deposits, but what you get in return is discretion, reliability, and access to top-tier services. What might surprise some people is that the United States is actually one of the world's leading offshore jurisdictions for non-residents. If you're not a U.S. citizen, and you set up a foreign-owned US LLC with no US source income, your profits can flow out tax-free from a US perspective. That means you get access to the US banking system, its world-class infrastructure, and major payment processing platforms, all without owing US taxes. But you do need to be careful. Substantial business connections to the US, like having employees or inventory there, can trigger tax obligations. This structure requires expert guidance to avoid costly pitfalls. Panama is another excellent choice, especially for international entrepreneurs. Its territorial tax system means that foreign source income isn't taxed at all, so companies doing business outside Panama pay 0% tax. Panama's IBC structure is both flexible and affordable, and if you're considering relocation, its Friendly Nations visa program offers residency to citizens from around 50 countries. While its banking sector tightened up in response to international pressure, Panama remains accessible and strikes a balance between ease of use and a good reputation. Ultimately, picking the right offshore jurisdiction means understanding not just the benefits in each country, but also how each fits into your overall life plan. What works for someone else might not work for you. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. And as cross-border business gets more complex, with factors like residence, citizenship, and expanding international operations all at play, getting solid professional advice is essential. Missteps can be expensive, but the right strategy can give you unrivaled advantages. Offshore companies, when set up correctly, are totally legitimate ways to pay less tax, protect assets, and increase your global mobility. The UAE, Hong Kong, Cayman Islands, the US, and Panama all present unique opportunities for the right type of business. What's most important is matching your jurisdiction to your revenue, your business model, and your personal goals. It's not just about picking a country from a list. You need to understand how local compliance works, what kinds of infrastructure you'll need, and how your reputation could be affected. Above all, aligning your offshore structure with your personal tax planning and your long-term objectives is what creates real, lasting benefits. If you're ready to set up an offshore company privately, quickly, and with the best possible advice, send an email to clients@libertymundo.com with the subject Offshore, and our team will help you get started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.